The authenticity of the Bible. According to Muhammad, the Bible is a scripture from God. He knew that the Jews were the keepers of the Hebrew scriptures, the Old Testament. He knew that the followers of Jesus, or Christians, were the keepers of the Greek scriptures, or the New Testament. He knew that the Christians honored and claimed the Hebrew scriptures as well as the Greek scriptures. He never spoke anything against either scripture, and only once, maybe twice, accused the Jews in his land, Arabia, of speaking bad interpretation of their scriptures. This is amazing since he was unlettered. That means he couldn't read or write. And since he spoke Arabic and neither the Greek or the Hebrew scriptures had been translated into Arabic during his lifetime. Muhammad is commanded in Surah 1094, "Upon doubt concerning what you revealed, then ask those who read the scriptures that were before you." The guidance was that Muhammad should consult Christians and Jews about what is in their scriptures. There is evidence that he did that. In fact, we know that he did, according to Ibn Ashaq. And one of his closest consultants, a relative, was Warqa bin Nafiel, who remained Christian throughout his lifetime, but close to Muhammad. Yet we have those out there, mainly in Islam, who claim for some reason that the Bible, the Hebrew, kept by the Jews, and the Greek scriptures, kept by so many different groups who are early believers in Jesus, have been corrupted. I have seen in all my research on this topic not one example of how it happened or a specific example of what was corrupted. It's strange that both sets of scriptures, each set having a unique history, and yet both were corrupted. I'm a follower of Jesus, but I am interested in the history of all religions, and because of that, I recently took a tour of Temple Mikveh in Savannah, Georgia, in the USA. This temple was populated by a group of Jews from England, which sailed over in the 1700s. They were given by the Jews in England a scroll of the Torah as they departed, 1733. That same scroll rests in the temple in Savannah, and in all probability in as good a condition as it left England. Jews are dedicated to preserving their scriptures like no other group on earth. By the 200s, the Greek scriptures were in several languages. Today we have 24,000 plus manuscripts of the Greek New Testament. 5,000 of those are Greek manuscripts, and the remainder in early languages other than Greek, such as Syriac and Coptic. The point of all this is there is tremendous manuscript evidence for both sets of scriptures which comprise the Bible, and to the point that it would have been very difficult at any point in history to corrupt either or both. And what would be the point? What value or advancement happens by corrupting? Do Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, atheists, or others gain any advantage? There is no reasonable logic that would bring any group to the conclusion that they could pull off such a stunt. You see, how could all available manuscripts of the Bible scattered all over the world have been corrupted so completely that not one single authentic copy survived? That is very illogical as a theory. If anyone has attempted such a heist, they would have been detected and exposed. Let me summarize what I am implying by all the facts. Though today many Muslims say that the Bible is corrupted, there is no proof. The Quran makes no hint that any scriptures were corrupted. There is an accusation of the Jews in Arabia that they were mishandling their scriptures, but nothing that implies that any corrupting of the written scriptures had taken place. One, if they were corrupted at that time and God was forsaking former scriptures, that would have been revealed to Muhammad, and included in the Quran, and it was not. 2, manuscripts dating from the 2nd and 3rd century all agree with each other with minor variation. These manuscripts line up and agree with the codices which were collected or created in the 300s. Since all these manuscripts and translations agree with one another, excepting minor variations, this leads to the conclusion that these manuscripts agree with the original copies. Thirdly, we are confident that the translations we have today in many, many languages align and agree closely with the original manuscripts. So there is no defense of the claim that the Bible has been corrupted. Either set of scriptures, Hebrew or Greek, have come down to us well preserved and intact. If you have any questions about these wonderful scriptures, please be in touch by email.